Hi everyone. So we're talking about sharing versus oversharing in a classroom. I think that it's important to share little tidbits about yourself in the classroom if it has to do with the subject matter at hand. So, for example, if you have a single mother sitting in your college classroom that is having problems finding the time to write, well, myself as a mother, I can relate to that and I can maybe help her out by giving her advice on how I handle the situation. So I think that's a good way to share. However, I don't want to share about my kids. I don't want to share about my husband. I don't want to share about my political beliefs or my religious beliefs. And so to me, that would be oversharing, or anything that's just plain embarrassing. I don't want to use at all, or if it's going to take time away from the classroom. So if it's something that propels the lesson along, then yeah, I'm going to share it, because I feel like it helps the students to see you as more approachable. And I think that is important. And for them to understand you've been where they've been. You've been in this, Comp 101 class before. You know the stress of, an entry-level college student. You get it. So share that, and share how you get through everything. So yeah. What topics are off limits for you? Personally, I already said just my kids, my husband, and personal beliefs. Otherwise, I think it's important for college students to discuss things. So have you ever had an experience where you feel a teacher has overshared? Yes. In high school, my sister's college roommate was actually one of my teachers, and that was bad. Also, my son, last year, he was dual enrolled as a high school senior in college, and he had two professors that would go on and on about their political beliefs, and the class wasn't political science. Neither of them were political science, and so it just wasted time, and actually, the students loved it because then they didn't need to think. They didn't need to work on the subject at hand. They just needed to get him off topic about his beliefs, and they got basically out of class. They just had to sit there and listen to these professors rant and rave, and that's bad. Like, we don't want that. I mean, they loved it. The students did get bored, but they weren't learning what they were there to learn. So I think that's definitely a case of oversharing. In higher education, should any topics be taboo? No, I don't think any topics in higher education should be taboo. I think that hard stuff needs to be discussed, and I think that kids or students now need to learn how to listen to other people's beliefs and think about it and then reply back with thoughtful comments. I think that's something that our society is missing right now. So yeah, I do not think any topic should be scratched from talking about. I think it all needs to be talked about. I think as college students, that's why they are there. When is it okay to use your own writing in the classroom? I actually did this week in my high school classroom. They were working on different ways of outlining. So what I did was I brought in several different ways that I have outlined. And so they got to see how I have outlined what works for me and why, and what didn't work for me and why. And I explained the reasons why things that didn't work for me would work for them. But they got to see the different methods of outlining that I have tried and why they worked for me and why they didn't. And it was really good. Some of them chose the way that I outlined. Some of them chose the way that I chose not to outline. It worked out really well. Will I leverage my career in education? Yeah, if when I get to the point where I'm query lettering and in my website, I am going to use how I do teach in a classroom. I think especially if I am going to be helping people by coaching or by editing, I think it's important to see that for them to see that I do have an education background. And also for any novels that I may come out with, I would say that I teach. I think it's important for people to understand that not only does this person take the time to write, but they also go out of their way to help other people with writing as well. Thank you.